So we will continue the previous class, that is instruction cycle of 8085 microprocessor. Okay. So before drawing the timing diagram for the given instruction, so I would like to explain briefly about what do you mean by instruction cycle, machine cycle, and T state, and how to draw the timing diagram. Because to draw the timing diagram, we need clock informations, and if group of signals available, how to represent in timing diagram, and address latch enable information, lower order byte address bus, data bus, higher byte address bus, read write operations. So all the basics I'll cover first. Then you can understand the timing diagram easily. Okay. Right. So what do you mean by instruction cycle first? The microprocessor fetching the instruction, that is the opcode for the corresponding instruction. Okay, fetching the instruction and decoding that particular instruction, and then execute according to the given instruction. Okay, so it needs some time to complete the fetching of your opcode corresponding to an instruction from the memory, and decoding what kind of operation it is, and then finally execution of the corresponding instruction involve various clock cycles. That is called as instruction cycle. Okay, how many pulse needed to complete fetching, decoding, execution of that particular instruction? That is instruction cycle in generally. Okay, so one instruction cycle may contains 1 to 5 read or write operations. Okay, maybe some instruction may complete within one machine cycle, or some instruction needed more than one machine cycle. Okay, that is the operation between microprocessor and memory, or microprocessor and IO devices. Okay, so each operations, each read operation or write operation between memory and processor, or between IO devices and processor, it requires some time. So that particular time called as machine cycle. Instruction cycle total time period needed to execute a particular instruction. So in one instruction cycle may have one machine cycle or more than one machine cycle, depending on what kind of instruction we are executing, right? Say for example, opcode fetch is a one machine cycle. Memory read, memory write, IO read, IO write. These are all called as machine cycle. Then to perform one particular machine cycle, that either reading instruction from memory, that is opcode from memory, or reading the data from memory, or writing data into the memory, reading data from IO device, writing data into IO device. So each and every machine cycle may have different number of clock pulses, minimum 3 to 6 clock pulses or clock cycles. Okay, that is called as T state. Okay, that is called as T state. So if you organize these terms, if you organize these particular terms, instruction cycle. So one instruction cycle, that is to execute one particular instruction, may involve more than one machine cycle. Say for example, machine cycle 1, machine cycle 2, up to maximum 5. Okay, maximum 5. I'll tell you which are the instruction require only one machine cycle, depending on the instruction. So we should understand the meaning of each and every instruction. Then only we can able to draw the timing diagram. Okay, so 1 to 5 machine cycle, depending on the instruction. Some instruction may need only one, some instruction may need two, or some instruction may need three. But Minimum one machine cycle needed, that is fetching the opcode from memory, and up to maximum five machine cycle. So in one machine cycle, more than one T state, more than one T state. So maximum T state 1, T state 2, up to T state 5, depending on the instruction. T state 6, up to 6. Some instruction, some machine cycle needed at up to 6 clock pulse also. Okay. You got an idea? Instruction cycle. Say for example, move A comma B. We need to store a opcode corresponding this instruction in the memory. Okay. So the content from register B will be moved to register A. So for to execute this particular instruction, we need to store only opcode in the memory. So processor will read the opcode from the memory. That involve one machine cycle. Only one machine cycle sufficient for this. Okay. So move immediate A comma 0 A. To execute this instruction, we need to store move immediate A comma 8-bit data opcode in the memory location. And the next immediate memory location 0A must be saved. So first one opcode fetch, second one memory read. So here two machine cycle required. Opcode fetch one machine cycle, memory read another machine cycle. Okay. Suppose STA 91500H. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 9150H. So STA 9150. So STA 16-bit address, one opcode. Okay. And 50 lower order address, 91 higher order address. So to execute this particular instruction, how many machine cycle we needed? Opcode fetch one machine cycle, lower order address information, that is memory read, and higher order address information, that is again memory read. So one opcode fetch, two memory read. Once everything is completed, and then memory write, that is store operation, storing the accumulated content in the memory location 9150. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 machine cycle required to execute this particular instruction. Okay. So depending on the type of instruction, the instruction cycle may vary. The instruction cycle may vary. Either one machine cycle or more than one machine cycle, but maximum is 5 machine cycle required. And one machine cycle required minimum 1 T state to maximum 6 T states. Right. Next, we will discuss what are the possible machine cycle. The name of the machine cycle. In general, we are telling machine cycle. You know. So status. Microprocessor has some status line, and microprocessor has some control line also. Okay, this timing and control block generating the status signal as well as control signals during the microprocessor operations. So what are the machine cycle available? Opcode fetch, that is reading the instruction from the memory. Reading the instruction from the memory. Okay, so we cannot store move immediate, that English letters in the memory. So for each and every instruction, we need opcode from opcode sheet. Okay, the opcode sheet I have uploaded in the Google Classroom. Please check once. Each and every instruction has unique 8-bit binary information. So that is available in the form of hexadecimal data in the opcode fetch. And what other operation is involving? Processor need to read some data from memory sometimes, or processor need to write some information in the memory. Okay. Then processor need to read data from IO devices. Then processor need to write some data into IO devices. These are all called as machine cycle. So apart from this, INTA acknowledgement, ACK. Okay. So INTA acknowledgement and bus ideal. So these are the total possible machine cycle. Okay. So if you execute any kind of instructions, it may involve either one or more than one of these machine cycle combinations. Okay. So in today class, I'll try to cover this opcode fetch, memory read, memory write, memory read, memory write. Similarly, IO read, IO write. Okay. So to show the status of microprocessor, the timing and control unit issues some status signal, as well as control signals. Okay. For opcode fetch, to explain whether it is IO or memory communicating with the microprocessor. This S1, S0 is a status line. Okay. IO M bar represents whether microprocessor is communicating with memory or IO device. IO slash M bar. And S1, S0. Two status lines. Control line, whether reading the data or writing data, writing meaning storing the data, or INTA acknowledgement. INTA acknowledgement. Okay. Usually this we won't show in the timing diagram. This INTA. Right. Opcode fetch. What do you mean by opcode? Opcode fetch. The programmer stored the opcode of a corresponding instruction in a particular memory location. Okay. So this is almost related with memory read operation, but not reading the data, reading the opcode, fetching your instruction from the memory. So this is memory related operation. So you have to mention 0 here. If you mention 0, IO 0, it will be disabled. 0 complement 1, this indicate memory operations. S1, S0 must be 1, 1. Okay, it is fixed. For opcode fetch, the S1, S0 must be 1, 1. So this is similar to your read operation, reading your opcode from memory. So read bar enabled. Read bar enabled. This is active low signal, so you have to put RD. So write bar disabled and INT also disabled. Because this is active low signal, you have to put 1. Memory read. Once again, this is memory operation, so put 0. Memory write. Once again, this is memory operation. IO read, you have to mention 1. IO write, you have to mention 1. Acknowledgement. This is also the data received from external device only. So 1. Bus ideal. Okay. So S11 opcode fetch. 10 indicate memory read. Read operation. 01 represent write operation. Okay. 10 read operation. 01 write operation. 11 opcode fetch. So read operation again 10. Write operation 01. Okay. And in interrupt acknowledgement also, it shows 11 only. Bus ideal S1, S0, 00. Okay. So by reading the S1, S0 and IOM bar, we can understand whether the processor communicating with the memory or IO device, or whether the processor fetching the instruction from the memory or reading, writing data from memory or from IO devices. Okay. So memory read operation, so read bar must be active, remaining should be inactive. Write operation, so write signal should be enabled. Okay. Remaining all disabled. IO read operation. This is again read operation. So read operation should be enabled. Write operation disabled. Okay. And then IO write operation. So write operation must be enabled by placing 0 in write signal. So this should be 1 only. Then INTA acknowledgement. For this INTA acknowledgement, both read bar also and write bar also required actually, and INTA must be enabled. That is placing 0 on this active low signal. Bus ideal condition, the status of read bar, write bar, INTA is like this. Okay. So this table you have to remember to draw the timing diagram for a particular instruction. Okay. It's very simple to remember. 1 1 upcode fetch. Okay. 1 0 read, 0 1 write. That's it. Most of the instructions will be involving fetch, read, write. Okay. Again 1 0. Whether it is IO related operation, memory related operation, by placing 0 for memory, but for placing 1 for IO. That's it. If you want to enable read operation, make it as 0. If you want to enable write operation, make it as W or complement signal as 0. Okay. So these are the machine cycle. So are you clear about this particular terms? Kindly respond during the classes. Otherwise, I'll call the roll number. If you're not responding, then right. Next one, clock signal. To explain the instruction cycle for a particular instruction, we need different terms. Okay, first we will discuss each and every term. Clock signals. So we already know the microprocessor has internal oscillator circuitry, but we need to connect the crystal externally. So 6 megahertz is the oscillator output frequency. So divide by 2 counter available inbuilt. So 3 megahertz. Or in some textbook mention 3.125 megahertz. Okay, clock cycle. So T equal to 1 by F. T equal to 1 by F. So ideal clock pulse, we need to represent like this: on time, off time. But this ideal clock signal generation is not that much easy. It's very difficult, but in real time, we will get some rise time and then logic high, and then we get some falling time, and then okay, like this. So this time represent rise time, and this time represent falling time. So please remember, we are going to use this kind of clock signal for explaining the instruction cycle of microprocessor. Okay, right. Another term, group of signals. If single signal is there, then we can use this particular line for read bar, write bar. Okay, only one signal for INTA. So we can show it. This is logic high. Okay, this is logic 0. For arithmetic, address latch enable, ALE, read bar, write bar, clock, INTA, we can use a single line to represent the corresponding operations. Suppose group of signal is there. AD0 to AD7, A8 to A15. Okay, IO/M bar, S0, S1, all together called as control signals. Okay, so in that case, you can use the parallel line like this. If any state changes, then you can put one cross mark. Okay, so this represents state change. For AD0 to AD7, like this. Suppose during the timing diagram, if you mention some dotted line, that represent high impedance state, okay, or tri-state. Tri-state meaning that particular pin neither connected to 0 or not connected to 1. So where we need the group of signals, to mention AD0 to AD7 line, to mention higher order address bus A8 to A15, to mention IO slash M bar comma S1 comma S0. Okay. To indicate this information, we are going to use this kind of pattern. Okay. Individual signal for clock, for read bar, for write bar, for address latch enable, for INTA complement, we are going to use individual signal. Okay. Right. Last class, one student asked me the doubt regarding the address latch enable. ALE. Okay. Address latch enable. So microprocessor support multiplex address and data bus. Multiplex address and data bus. That is, same pins can be used for carrying address information of the memory or IO device. Or the same pin may be used to carrying the data between processor to memory or processor to IO device. Okay. So what is the condition that is given by ALE? If ALE address latch enable, if address latch enable 1, this is equivalent to A0 to A7. These pins are used to represent address of the memory or IO device. If address latch enable equal to 0, these pins are used to carrying the data, 8-bit data. So this is 8-bit lower order address of memory, lower order address of memory or IO device, particularly memory. Okay. So this is 8-bit data. That time, these 8 wires are used to carry the data. Okay. So how to represent this ALE logic high? ALE logic high. If you draw the clock pulse, if this is the ALE, this represent logic high, this represent logic 0. Okay. So during each and every machine cycle, the first T state, say for example, see the clock pulse. Okay. 1, T state 1, T state 2, T state 3. Okay. So 1 off time plus 1 on time. Okay. This is called as 1 T state. 1 T state. Okay. So during the very first T state of each and every machine cycle, whether it is opcode fetch machine cycle or memory read machine cycle or memory write machine cycle, during this T1 state, your ALE must be high. Your ALE must be high. Okay. Your ALE must be high. Why? First, we need to identify the address. Program counter hold the 16-bit address of where the opcode is stored. Okay. Those 16-bit address information has to be placed in A0 to A15 of the microprocessor address bus. So during this particular T1 state, so ALE must be 1. If ALE must be 1, meaning your AD0 to AD7 is used to holding your lower order 8-bit address of the memory. Okay, please remember all the machine cycle during the T1 state, the ALE must be 1 so that AD0 to AD7 pins can be used for holding the lower order 8-bit address of the memory. Okay, are you clear about this concept? ALE. whether it is opcode fetch machine cycle or memory read machine cycle, memory write machine cycle, or IO read machine cycle, IO write machine cycle. Remember T1, immediate T1 state, the ALE must be 1. Remaining all the time ALE will be 0. That time AD0 to AD7 pins will be used to carrying the data. Next. What are the other signals we need to represent in the timing diagram of each and every instructions or instruction cycle of each and every instruction? Next one, A0 to A7. That is lower order address or lower byte address. AD0 to AD7. Okay. So during this particular state, T1 state, with respect to the previous diagram, during this particular state, okay, this is T1 state, first clock pulse. That is T1 state. Address latch enable must be high. Okay, ALE must be high. So here mention like this. Now A0 to AS. In AD0 to AD7, pins can be used for carrying the lower order 8-bit address. When during T1, that time ALE is 1. Okay. Should understand to all of you? Can you hear my voice, please?
Yes, sir.
Right. Next, data bus. D0 to D7. Okay. This is called as data bus. Okay. So between T2 to T3, this AD0 to AD7 can be used as D0 to D7, carrying the data. Okay. There is a small difference between read and write operation. T state 1, okay. T state 1, off time, on time. T state 2, off time, on time. T state 3. So usually only 3 states are required to read data from memory or to write data from memory. Okay, only for opcode fetch we need 4 clock cycle. IO read, IO write, memory read, memory write. We need only 3 clock cycles. I'll explain. If suppose memory read, operation, so how to represent this AD? During T1 state, this AD0 to AD7 act as address, that is A0 to A7. Okay, A0 to A7. So depending on the instruction, the best example I'll give you here, move immediate B, 05H. Move immediate B, 05. Opcode. Say for example 8100. In 8101 location, we need to store 05H. To execute move immediate B, 05 instruction, we need to store two 8-bit information in the memory location. One is opcode, one is data. So whenever the processor fetch the opcode or instruction from the memory, and the instruction register will store the opcode and instruction decoder will decode it. During T4 state, the processor interprets what kind of operation it is. Okay. And then it understands, okay, some data need to move to the B register. Processor assume that data available in the next immediate address location. So it needs some time. It needs some time to access the data from the memory. So that in that case, memory read operation, you have to mention your data line like this. Okay, this line indicate here access time. If it is a memory write operation or IO write operation, the same. I'm not drawing the clock pulse. During T1 state, address latch enable must be high. Please remember that address latch enable must be high. So that time AD0 to AD7 used as address. Okay, for write operation already processor has the data. Okay, processor has the data. So from here onwards, you can specify the data. If you want to draw accurately, you can draw it. Otherwise, no issue. Okay. So the data bus, when you have to mention this AD0 to AD7 as a data bus after T1 state only, please remember. During T1 state, address latch enable is active. So these pins pointing out the lower order address of the memory. This 00 will be placed here in this example. Okay. Or 01 will be in the next operations. For holding the lower order 8-bit address information, this A0 to A7 pin will be used. Then at last A8 to A15. A8 to A15. So this is dedicated address bus, which is used for carrying higher byte address. Carrying higher byte address. A8 to A15. There is no multiplex pins. There is no multiplex pins. It's a dedicated to point out the address location, higher order address location of the memory. That is in this example, this 8-1 represented by the A8 to A15 8 address line carrying this 8-bit information. So this is hexadecimal data. This is hexadecimal. So 1 can be represented by 4 binary, 8 can be represented by 4 binary. So total this 8-bit information represented by A8 to A15. Okay. Here no need to mention, no need to worry about whether ALE 0, 1 and all, because there is no multiplex pin. Active low, active high. So one T state, active low, active high, another T state, active low, active high. So why I'm drawing the memory read, memory write, IO read, IO write operations require only 3 clock pulses. Upward fetch need minimum 4 clock pulses. T1 state, T2 state, T3 state. Okay, you can mention if it is upward fetch, then you need to mention up to 3 clock pulses. Okay, A to A15. For memory read, we need only 3 clock pulses. Sorry. Okay. This is this example for upcode fetch. T1, T2, T3, T4. For memory read, we need only 3 T state. So you can use this entire line to represent A to A15. Okay. So what are the other signals we require to draw the execution cycle? Some status signal. Input, output, or memory related operation, or S0, S1. So already in the table I explained to you, opcode fetch. Opcode fetch is a similar to reading the data from memory. Okay, that is related with memory operation one. Then memory read, memory write, IO read, IO write. Okay. So say for example, if you mention IO, sorry, IO slash M bar equal to 0. This is a memory operation. S1 comma S0. S1 equal to 1. S0 equal to 1. S1 equal to 1. I'll just write clearly. T state, T2 state, T3 state, T4 state. Okay. M cycle 1, M cycle 2. Okay. T1, T2, T3, T4. Okay. Suppose if it is upcode fetch operation, if it is upcode fetch operation, we need 4 clock cycle. So you have to indicate a signal like this. A signal like this. Okay. Here write down IO slash M bar equal to 0. For memory operation, it should be 0. S1 equal to 1. S0 equal to 1. For upcode fetch. Okay. This way you have to represent status signal. If memory read, memory write operation, we need only T1, T2, T3. T4 is not required. Okay. So apart from this, read bar, write bar signal we need to mention. Read bar and write bar signal. So this is an active low signal. Active low signal indicate if we place 0 on the particular pin, the read operation will be enabled, or if we place 0 on the particular write pin, W or complement pin, the write operation will be enabled. Okay. So usually we know during T1 state, if you go back to the upcode fetch, during T1 state, your address latch enable equal to 1. Your address latch enable equal to 1. So AD0 to AD7, 8 bits, 8 pins are used to carry the lower order address bus, this 0, 0. Okay. So during T1 state of the upcode fetch, during T1 state of the upcode fetch, or whenever the address latch enable equal to 1, that time you no need to mention this, no need to activate this control signal. Say for example, T1, T2, T3, T4. Okay. T1, T2, T3, T4. T4. So what I told you, during T1 state, the ALE must be logic high. That time, okay, that time AD0 to AD7 act as address bus, A7 to A7. Okay. So during T1 state of each and every machine cycle, whether it is upcode fetch or memory read or memory write, during T1 state, ALE must be 1. Your AD0 to AD7 used to carry out the address information. So that time don't activate your read write signal. Okay. This is logic high. Okay. Between T2 to T3. Between T2 to T3. 2 clock cycles. Two T state, minimum 2 T state, this should be active. By placing 0, this is active low. If it is active low signal, meaning read operation sent to the microprocessor by the timing and control unit of microprocessor. Okay. So this indicate read operations. During T1 state, you should be logic high only. Suppose if you want to mention write operation during T1 state, write operation high. Then next T2 to T3 only you have to mention.